Hey guys, this is Redhood 420, and I'm here to bring you guys the Overleveled podcast, episode 5. And real quick, I have to explain something to you guys. We had a episode recorded quite a ways back, and I was busy, and that's why you guys haven't really seen any activity on my channel because of school and all that. But this is an easier way to do this, like I did with the original podcast where I broadcast it and essentially records itself so anybody could watch it and view it anytime they please, when it's live or when it's done. But that's why we're doing this. I think it's best for everyone here. So we have on the panel, we have Marvel DC fan, Inspector, and Taladia Plays. And first, we're going to talk the Nintendo Switch sales. And Switch sales are pretty good overall. It's 1.5 million has been sold to the consumers. And, I've had my Switch for quite a bit. I think it's a pretty decent console for, playing on the go and then playing it on your TV. Mostly I use it in handheld mode, but I've overall had a good experience with the system. But right now it's collecting dust because there's not really many games, being supported by it. So the next game I'm probably going to be getting is Mario Odyssey, which is in November. So it's going to be quite a ways away. But that's that. And what do you guys think about the Nintendo Switch sales? And we're starting with Marvel DC fan.
It was going to be bad, they said. It wasn't going to do well, they said. But no. The sales, well, I haven't really been paying attention, but from what I've heard, the Switch is doing all right for itself, which I'm really glad, because back when, I think it was a Nintendo Direct or something like that, we were all talking about it, and I was trying to be optimistic. I wasn't trying to bash it like two other people I knew, but yeah, I'm glad it's doing fine for itself, despite the launch titles. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, true. I agree. What about you, Taladia Place? What do you think about the Nintendo Switch so far?
I think personally that it's done great so far, except for the titles. Like they could have brought out, 3, 4, 5, different games. Like I know they have got their games, like the Nintendo's, 1, 2 Switch and the other games. But I mean, like something like Mario and Sonic, and if they brought those games out, it would have made even more improvements for people to buy the game.
Oh yeah, I agree. I personally think that it should have been delayed towards the holiday season, so there would be more games supported by the system. But so far, it's like bare bones. I mean, the only thing they're banking on right now is The Legend of Zelda, which I believe is probably the best-selling Switch game out there right now. So what do you think, Inspector, about the whole Nintendo Switch news?
I'm actually surprised because I was one of the quote-unquote naysayers that Marvel DC fan was saying that thought it wasn't going to do well. I'm surprised on how well it's doing, judging by the lack of marketing that it has had. Like it had some marketing up until the launch, but not much. And Zelda's getting like rave reviews, so that's good for that. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Mm-hmm. And more Nintendo news. We're gonna quickly just talk about Zelda itself. I played Zelda, I beat Zelda, and many of you guys may have noticed that Zelda is sitting at a 97 on Metacritic. And I was like, oh, this game's gonna be like a masterpiece level game, man. I'm expecting like amazing, like features, amazing world, just everything is gonna be great. The story is gonna be great, the voice acting is gonna be great. And I'm thinking like levels of like Final Fantasy 7 and like Persona 4 and all that. And from what I've gathered and what I've played, and I put in about 30 hours into the game, not doing, the collecting like those seeds. I didn't do that, but I collected quite a bit of the shrines and finished the story and did the get the true ending by going to the areas in Hyrule where there are photos, and essentially you go to those to remember past memories, which give backstory to the game. And for me, it was a good game. It wasn't great. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't a masterpiece or phenomenal. It was a good game. Like I'll go real quick what I didn't like about the game. And so far, that is essentially side quests or fetch quests. No ways about it. Anybody defending that needs to get themselves checked out, because you got to compare the side quests to games like The Witcher 3. And Witcher 3 did side quests so meaningful and had its own story to it. And to me, Zelda just didn't have that. It didn't have that appeal for those side quests. It's like, oh, collect these guts and stuff like that and do that. And I kept getting those side quests, hoping that there was going to be something that would stand out, that would hook me in, which it didn't. And by the end of the story, I thought it was very lackluster. I thought the designs for the bosses and boss fights weren't that challenging. I mean, I was playing on normal, but you expect even in normal that you would have some challenges, and the designs for it just weren't great, especially the last boss and his second form, which just wasn't challenging. It was so simple that you guys would know if you played him. And for me, like, I'm making my review currently for it, and for me, it's a good game. I don't think it deserves the high praise it does. Do I think that maybe the media has inflated the score? Yeah, maybe. I think so. I don't because I had problems with, the story was very lackluster, subpar voice acting, and the side quests were fetch quests. I mean, the world is awesome, and I like the art detail, but besides that, and the combat is great, but then I don't like the weapon durability system, which I think that they should have took, inspiration from The Witcher and Dark Souls and Bloodborne and those areas, because the weapon kind of break pretty fast. And I think that should be, kind of negative. And the other thing I just didn't like is also the frame rate problems. Playing on the docking, where there's kind of effects, like fire effects, frame rate's going to drop heavily, and wind effects. And to me, that many people gloss over that and gloss over the details I've said, maybe because nostalgia is hitting them.
Mhm.
But for me, it wasn't hitting me. I like, I like Link, but I got the collector's edition. I knew it was going to be a solid experience for me, and it was a solid experience, but it wasn't like Horizon or The Witcher. But that's my, quick impression. Well, not impressions, like a semi review, but I'm doing more detailed review in the upcoming days.
Yeah, so comparing Breath of the Wind to other comparing its Metacritic score to others in the genre, Ocarina of Time has a 99. Super Mario Galaxy has a 97. So does Galaxy 2. Twilight Princess has a 95. So it's up there with the other Zelda games.
Yeah.
So
to me, do I think it deserved all the praise it got? For me, it wasn't deserving. But I still like the game. I still think it's a good game. And a lot of Nintendo fanboys will probably try to destroy me right now. But yeah. But it's my opinion, and that's what I got from it. I don't see myself playing it anytime soon again. Maybe in a year later or something like that. But do I think that it was inflated? Kind of, and people will bring the argument that there's this 3DS game that is a Zelda game that I think it was Triforce that got terrible reviews. Of course, the media, the reviewers are going to, say the game's bad, but when they get a good Zelda game, they're gonna inflate the score. If you guys, catch my drift.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
But that's my take. So what do you guys think from my perspective, or you guys want to ask anything else?
I feel you're betting on, like, it's your opinion, and I feel like sometimes media does inflate scores when it's like a good game in a series that might have had some like mediocre outings. When they get a good one, like it's like, oh, it's so good, it's like near perfect. Sometimes media does inflate scores.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about you, Marvel DC fan? You got any questions for me?
No, but I was gonna say earlier that when you were talking about sales and like critic response, and it was upon announcement, like I was thinking, well, I didn't think it was gonna do that successful. Like I thought, of course, it was gonna be high quality, and people were gonna buy it, but I didn't think like over like a 97 or something like that. I didn't think it was gonna get to that level, but stuff happens.
Yeah.
And
So what about you,
Yeah,
Talati Plays? What do you think, or any questions for me?
Well, I think about the whole Legends of Zelda thing, the Metacritics and stuff like that. I think that, to me, I think it was highly praised, but it didn't feel, like like a game that can compete with, Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, obviously the Nintendo Switch is a good console. Not saying it's not. It's just that the fact that some people find it difficult to play, overheating and stuff like that, and that's why some consumers might not like it, and and I can see from where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. It's like I like the game. It's just not to that pedigree that everyone's putting it at. Because I have occasional arguments with them, but then they gloss over the fact of the response that I had for the game. They're like, oh no, they had memorable characters. I was like, no, they didn't. It's like they didn't. There was no character development. So I don't know why you think that. I mean, cool if you relate to a character, but if they barely had any screen time, I just don't know how you can say that character is memorable.
Yeah, compared to Horizon got an 89 Metacritic.
Yeah.
So, and keep in mind, Metacritic is just another aggregator. So it's kind of like Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. So we'll quickly talk about critical reception for Persona 5, and everyone knows I'm a big Persona fan. Love the story, love the characters. They never have done anything really like bad to that aspect of it. Only complaints I've ever had in the Persona series have been, the dungeons. They're randomly generated. They're not really like greatly made. It's kind of generic in a way. But besides that, but the turn base is really good. It's just the dungeon designs and the gameplay mechanics for the dungeon designs weren't the best. And from what I'm hearing, it's the darkest out of the series. The cast is great. The characters are great, and they fixed that. They made it very unique, the dungeon designs for the game, and I really like what I'm hearing for it. And right now it's sitting at 94 on Metacritic. A lot of people are making fun of, saying like, if it had the Zelda name, it'd be a 98 or a 99. But everyone's saying that this is the gold standard for JRPGs. This kind of throws shade at Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 was in development for many, many years, over 10 years in development cycle. And, it was a good game. It just wasn't to that level of Final Fantasy 7. It just didn't have that impact or awe factor that 7 did have. But I'm excited for it. I got the Take Your Heart collector edition, or whatever you want to call it. And hopefully it comes a day early. But I'm excited for the game. And What do you guys think? We'll start with Taladia.
Me, I mean, obviously I don't play PlayStation 4, as you know. But I'm excited to see what they could bring to the table. Like, you know, once the full game comes out, will it like be better than what it was previous? You know, the previous what's it called game they did, and will it? And obviously, I know that they are doing a VR experience for that game. So will that also be awesome as well? Only time will tell.
All right. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about the news and the reviews?
Man, I haven't played a Persona game in years, and I don't know if I'm gonna pick this one up. I mean, like, no disrespect to the people who love Persona. It's just if I'm gonna play a Persona game, I'd rather start from the beginning up till now. And like, I'm hoping it does good. Like, if it does good, then it makes me more interested to replay the older Persona games and then just make my way up to Persona 5. So I don't really have much to go on that. So
yeah, I got you. I mean, hey man, I'm playing right now like P4 Golden, and that's Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, and I put so many hours in that game itself, and I'm getting so hyped for Persona 5 because it's been a while, and we will probably not see another Persona sequel in a long time. Because I know the director for this game is onto a new JRPG project, so gotta savor that moment until the next game comes out. But what about you, Inspector? What do you think?
Like Marvel DC fan, like I'm not really like it says it's been a long time since I played a Persona game. I've never played a Persona game, so I really have no opinion. I mean, I've never been interested in like JRPGs because, like you said, they're really like time sinkers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just not interested in JRPGs.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, but I'm super excited. And I wish I would be able to live stream it, but Atlas was like, nah, no share button for you. We're not gonna enable that feature, which I'm sad about. I can't do it unless I got the Elgato, which I haven't gotten yet. So,
well, that sucks, innit?
Yep, it's gonna be a while until I basically do a let's play on it. But I will enjoy the game nonetheless. So we're gonna talk more gaming news real quick. Call of Duty was leaked for World War II, boots on the ground, and everyone's wondering if this is going to be the comeback for Call of Duty. Is this going to be the savior of the franchise? And for me, I just don't really care. Call of Duty, for me, has been dying. It's a dying franchise. And look, Call of Duty had its moments. It had its ups and downs. Just to me, it wasn't a genre-defining game. It banked on the sales of people under 17, kids, and a lot of hardcore gamers don't really like Call of Duty like that, and they just want to play other games. And for me, yeah, it's a bust for me, man. It's like, unless this game does something amazing and does something groundbreaking, I'm just not going to put the time or effort into a game that I just don't enjoy. But more power to the people that want it. To me, it's not there for me. So what do you think, Inspector?
Like you said, I'm not really interested. Call of Duty has been dead to me since Modern Warfare 3. I haven't played it since Modern Warfare 3. And to be honest, this just reeks of like Activision being reactionary because of how successful Battlefield 1 was. So yeah, just not interested. Plus a sledgehammer, so that makes me even less interested.
What about you, Taladia? What do you think?
Well, as a I play COD myself, like I can see this game becoming it's gonna be either it's gonna be a hit or it's gonna be a miss. But if they do like what they did last year, where they did a combination of a remaster and a, you know, Infinite Warfare, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna pay 90 something pounds, £100 just to get two games. It's a simple rip off. And if because they're copying, you know, Battlefield 1, it's just stating the obvious. It's stating that Call of Duty are saying to the fans, we fucked up, we're sorry, here you, yeah, and we'll do something different. We'll put feet on the ground. We'll give you what's the best. And to be perfectly honest, that's the whole point. I think the next Call of Duty game, even though we haven't got an official release date or announcement date yet, I think that it's gonna flop. That's my honest opinion. It's gonna flop.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good games coming out this year. And for me, it's like, look, a man can have so much money, but a man has to choose what they like. And what I like is other things that are coming out instead of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So it's just, you got Red Dead in that time frame. You got other games like Battlefront 2 and all that.
And possibly Spider-Man PS4.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So what about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think?
I just don't care. Like I lost interest in Call of Duty like for years. I think the last one that I had an actual, fun time with was, I think, maybe Black Ops, but the series is just dead to me. Whenever anything new is announced, it just makes my head hurt more and more and more. If I'm gonna pick up a Call of Duty game today, it'd probably be the remaster. But like, if I just don't care about anything Call of Duty, like, nothing.
So we're gonna talk about the same publisher real quick, Activision, but instead, Destiny 2 has been announced. They've done a teaser trailer and essentially a extension of that trailer. And look, the problems I had with Destiny are several things. Destiny 1, the vanilla Destiny, right? I got the Darkness Below and I quit. I didn't like the story. I thought the missions were very repetitive. There was no variation to the combat for that because the structure just didn't allow that. And it's like, protect the ghosts so we can unlock something, kill these waves of enemies. And I'm just like, oh gosh dang, I just don't want this anymore. And I was like, I'm not going to spend any more money. And there was just no good story to it. And look, if they improve on the things that I have major complaints about, then I'm going to love the experience for Destiny 2. It's been announced it's coming to PC. So I'll probably get on PC if I like the gameplay reveal trailer and the demo that they're going to show on Sony's press conference for E3. I'm going to love that. But I want to say I got to also wait for the reviews for the game. And I look at the reviewers that I follow. I have certain reviewers I have similar tastes to. And if they say that this game isn't that great, I'm not going to buy it. And there's going to be a beta also coming first to PlayStation, which will probably be after E3 if we're going to look at history, because Bungie has done this. Right after the E3 conference, there's a beta for PS4 only. And I'm going to also look at that. But what do you guys think? And we're going to start off with Claudia.
Well, with Destiny 2 obviously getting leaked many weeks back, and now obviously they're gonna show like the trailer. Well, obviously they showed the trailer now. All we got to do is wait for the gameplay to come out, and I'm going to wait and see if that game turns out to be, much better than the first one because like as like you said, the first one wasn't that great with was it the story or what was it?
It's just like the mission structures were bad, and there was like not really a story to it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I hope they can improve on that and maybe even improve on the multiplayer as well because I know that the multiplayer had a bit of a problems as well.
Hmm.
That's what I really think about that.
And what about you, Inspector? What do you think?
I didn't play the first Destiny, but I heard mixed things about it. So I think they're gonna have to pull a major like Titanfall 2. Like, you know what I mean by that? Like, people were disappointed with the first Titanfall, and people like were impressed by Titanfall 2 because they like added a story and they added like more features and stuff. So they're gonna have to pull that off. Let's see how it like turns out.
Exactly. And what about you, Marvel DC fan?
To be honest, I actually never thought they'd announce a sequel. I just always thought they were gonna keep going with the kind of expansion like thing that they've been doing since like Taken King and whatever else. And like I have Destiny. I got it last year as a birthday present, like a bargain bin $20 thing. And like I don't know, man. I'd rather just I don't know what to think. I'm not really that excited. I'd rather just keep playing the first one and like maybe my interest will go up, but at this point I just don't really care that much. Like I played a bit of Destiny 1, vanilla Destiny, and like I just lost interest like after like an hour or two of playing it. So yeah, man.
I got you. And we're going to talk the last gaming news real quick is Injustice 2. They announced quite a bit, like the Part 2 Shattered Alliance and Part 3. And so far, I think the trailers are very compelling. I think the story will probably be a lot better than the first one. And I'm liking where the story is headed and that Supergirl is going to play a big part. The devs have said that, and I believe they showed that in Part 3 that it seems like Supergirl has a bigger, part for the story aspect of it. And and then the characters are, they showed off for pretty cool. And so far, so we're gonna give the floor to Inspector.
Yeah, as you said, I think the trailers have been really good, especially the second Shattered Alliance trailer. That's probably the best trailer they've put out. For like the entire marketing of the game, there was just so much packed into it. It felt like a movie trailer, kind of. The Supergirl one was fine. I thought that one was the weakest of the three Shattered Alliances trailers. It was cool. It was cool seeing Black Adam again. Other than that, the other characters that were revealed today were Scarecrow and Captain Cold. And I definitely think Captain Cold was the standout of the trailer that came out today. Like his super move looks great. I love the voice actor. Like he sounds so familiar. I just can't put my finger on where he's from. Like he sounds so familiar to me. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Quick comment. Like, well, I believe was it the Part 2 or Part 3 that they showed Reverse Flash?
It was Part 2.
Part 2, right? But interesting, segue is like this. It's like I know that there's gonna be a type of, I think it's like a skin set that Flash is gonna have that makes him Reverse Flash, right?
Yeah.
So
it's called a Premier skin, where basically they have these shaders, and the shader you could have like a Premier skin shader that turns you into like Reverse Flash.
Nice. And are they gonna have like similar gameplay aspects, or it's gonna be different? Because
it's basically the same character, but with different voice actor and different dialogue.
Okay, cool. Because I'm wondering if there's probably going to be a fight between Flash and Reverse Flash. So I'm wondering if it could be somewhat different or whatnot. Unless it's just a flashback scene or something like that.
I mean,
Yeah,
in the story they might have like a fight or so, but like probably just the same like move sets and
Hmm.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's the same movesets. It's just the dialogue is different and the voice.
Okay.
Does that Premier Skin? Don't they have their own sets of gear or?
No, how the Premiere skins work is that, like, it's like the shaders. Like, it's like the shaders are basically color changes, but like for the Premiere skins is that you get to you deck out your character in whatever you want, and you put on the Premiere shader, and you keep like the advantages or disadvantages of the gear that you have. So basically, like goes over your gear.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Talada? What did you think about the trailers so far?
Well, the trailers so far have been, awesome. Like the second one, I felt as if it was the best one. I have to agree with Inspector on that. But like, the third one is gonna play a big factor into the story. And then today, obviously, they just revealed Captain Cold. To be honest with you on that, I think it's going to be interesting when it comes out to multiplayer and how, the shaders and and the gear system, how will that play into effect?
Yeah, exactly. And what about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about the trailers so far?
The trailers have been really good. Shattered Part 2 is probably my favorite, and Shattered Part 3 I think is like Inspector said, probably the weakest of them. And all the character reveals they had so far, most of them I'm actually really excited for, and I actually want to play as those characters. But there's just like there's just a few things that kind of bother me a little bit. Um, Scarecrow's design, I'm not really huge on it. It just looks a little too weird to me. And uh, Green Arrow, I don't know how he's going to play in the story, if it's that Earth's Green Arrow or something like that. And if there's one character that I dislike, it's probably Cheetah. But that's just me. Like it's just I don't know, something about her design and her like maybe move sets that just don't really make me want to play her. Like I'll probably try her out, but at this point, she's probably my
No, I got you. It's like
I get
different-
what
my least favorite that they announced. But
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah, like me,
Um,
like my like only gripe with the character is Catwoman. I think she just looks bad in general, like just facial, like just texture wise, and just doesn't look good. And then you compare it to Poison Ivy, and Poison Ivy just looks better, better designed.
she looks good.
Yeah, and as you were saying with Scarecrow, I know Scarecrow's design is kind of divisive. I know you don't like it, but I actually personally like it because it reminds me of the new animated Adventure Scarecrow, like the redesign from that show, with like
Right.
the boots and stuff. And I
Yeah.
really like that design, so that's why I like it. Like brings back nostalgia for me.
Yeah, it brings back memories, basically.
But I get why people don't like it. Like he's very lanky, like it's weird, like on first like viewing. So I get why people don't like it.
So right now we're gonna go into a cool, different point in the podcast, like, and I'm gonna introduce like what games we're gonna play and go down, the panel and say what games we're gonna play. And so far, what I've been playing is, I've finished Zelda. I've been playing Persona 4 Golden. I've been playing Mass Effect Andromeda. The funny story is I lost like 4 parts into the Mass Effect Let's Plays that I've been doing, right? And that's why you haven't seen any like Let's Plays for it, is because the first 4 parts are gone. And then I had like through 9 from the first, trial for the game. So hopefully I can re-record those things. But yeah, and what other games have I been playing? I've been playing a little bit of Gravity Rush 2. And I think that's it so far. So, what about you, Marvel DC fan? What have you been playing?
Well, it's just not really too much. Like I just finished my Walking Dead thing for my LP, which uh, the last few parts of the finale will be uploaded in the next couple days. Uh, in terms of anything new, I mean, I just recently I bought Ultra Street Fighter 4, and I've been really having a blast with it. I bought Vanilla Street Fighter 4 months ago, and then I just put that down. But then I rebought it again on PS4, and I've been really just enjoying it. All the different characters and their move sets. Not really much for online, but I mean, it's an old game, so probably not a lot of people are playing that. But it's been really fun so far.
Okay, nice, nice. What about you, Taladia? What have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing DC Universe Online, just trying to get through all the missions. And I've also been, going through the first Injustice video game. Obviously, it's backwards compatibility on Xbox One. So I decided to do the walkthrough for that. Like, I didn't record it or anything, but I just did the main story, and I want to try and get back into grinding, the traits for each character and see which is the best one going to be for me for the next game.
Yeah, I did have played the DC Universe Online. That was when initially it was on PS4. I never played it when it first came out on PS3, and that's when Sony Online Entertainment was still doing the game, and it was still exclusive to the system and PC.
And that's when it was free.
Yeah, that was when it was free, and I'd never played the expansions. I just played through the basic missions. I thought it was pretty cool. I was under Batman. Batman was my mentor. It was pretty cool. I kind of wish that the gameplay was more varied, but maybe it's because I was playing as a gadget-esque, player based. And
did you have people playing with you, or were you like?
well, I played with a couple of friends of mine.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
You're lucky.
Yeah, it's more fun, I guess, with friends. And I never got the expansions, so I never know if the expansions were good. I never knew if I forgot. I know there was one with Raven's father, Trigon,
Trigon.
but I never played those aspects. So I don't know if they're actually decent or
the story expansions. I know they just done what's it called, Mr. Mitchell Pickle extension pack, which came out free, and that was just basically collecting stuff. And I was like, all right, that's a bit boring, but whatever. And I know that apparently they're doing and soon apparently they're gonna be having a Justice League thing, because like they did with BVS, they had like logos, they had so many different things for DC Universe Online. So I presume they'll probably will have something in the next few months.
Nice. And what about you, Inspector? What have you been playing?
I've been busy with school and work, so I haven't gotten around to any games. I've wanted to get Horizon, but I just haven't had time to get anything. So
That's nice. And if you do, you got to get Horizon. Damn good game.
yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna go into the movie news so far. And movie news, we're gonna, I guess, go right off the bat and talk about. We'll go with Spider-Man real quick. Spider-Man. My thoughts on it. I think that it was solid. I did not like how it was revealing much. And look, I'm a big Spider-Man fan, but I will give criticism when it's needed. Just like Mass Effect. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Mass Effect. Your fucking terrible facial animations. But I think they gave a lot of stuff away. And this is, I think, a big problem with the movie industry as a whole. And look, I don't think it's the director. I do think it has to do with the people promoting the movie and taking aspects of the film and cutting it. Like, I gave flack for Batman v Superman for doing that, and I'm going to give flack for Spider-Man for doing that. And look, I don't understand why they like to do that. Is beyond me. I just don't understand it. I was like, come on now. You have to like look, it looks great and I'm going to have fun watching the film. But I just don't understand what goes through their mind. It's like, look, take a key point. Logan, great way to promote the film and not put in things that are going to give key things away. And that is to me the prime example of how you should promote a film. And I just think the industry needs to change in that aspect. But yeah, solid, trailer. I mean, I'm hyped for it still. But what do you guys think? We're gonna go with Marvel DC fan.
For the trailer, I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. I mean, if anything, I think that the international trailer for the first trailer, the international one they put out a while ago, I think that was better. But there was some stuff that I enjoyed about this new trailer, like all the kind of gadgety type thing for Spider-Man's suit, and that Tony has like a kind of variation of the Ultimate Universe armor. I thought that was interesting and cool. Vulture, like the shots of him and Spidey kind of fighting, and those were cool, but I don't know. I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. It was okay, but it's just not good.
I feel it. What about you, Taladio?
Well, I thought they, showed too much. I mean, it's basically saying, all right, here's the full movie in the trailer. That's what it just says to me. I mean, that's the criticism. I mean, they did that for BVS in the second trailer, and that gave away the plot. And I feel as if editors, the people who are editing the movie and doing the trailers and everything, they need to stop doing that. And it's just it's pointless. Like, if you're gonna do something right, at least give us don't give us the full movie, but give us some parts of it which would be intriguing in the trailer. Not like give us the full plot of the story. Why is it about it's simply just, if you know what I mean, it's just giving away too much.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Inspector?
Yeah, I basically have the same criticisms as Taladia, where it basically gave away, like, not the whole movie, but most of it. It basically gave us the entire first action sequence, him putting together the ship. There was no reason for Iron Man to be there was no reason for them to show Iron Man in that shot, like putting the ship together. Like, there's no reason for them to put him in the trailer like that. Like you said, the way that they're marketing this is definitely like a Sony trailer. Like, you could tell, like, it was cut by Sony.
Yeah, I mean, they did the same thing with the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, you could tell it was cut by Sony. And for Vulture, I'm kind of iffy on Vulture. I like Michael Keaton, but Marvel has this thing where they hype up the villain. They did the same thing with Caecilius for Doctor Strange, and like, he was okay. Like, he was nothing special. I just have a feeling that they're gonna waste Michael Keaton, like they do with like all the villains that they do.
Yeah, I mean, I was upset with Mads Mikkelsen and how they did that. Hopefully they don't with this one. Hopefully, but I mean, especially if they want off his character, man. Oh boy, because like so far, a lot of the Marvel villains have been one-offs. I mean, and if you guys don't know what one-offs is, it's basically when the villain just dies in the film, and they don't survive. And I think that if you're gonna one-off a villain, make him compelling. Like, look, I love the Sam Raimi films, the first two, of course. Like, they one-off them, but they had so much development, and it was warranted for them.
Yeah.
But so far, the Marvel, they haven't done that.
Yeah, for example, I think the best two one-offs, like one-off villains, have been Red Skull and Obadiah Stane, and they haven't they seem to either be copying Obadiah Stane in terms of their villains, or just putting like random alien villain. in
Mhm.
there. Like, yeah. I was gonna say something else. Yeah, I was saying like Talia said, like it basically showed the whole plot because like at the beginning of the trailer, it showed like the first action sequence where Spider-Man has to put together the ship again. Tony like takes away the suit. He has to prove himself, and then he gets the suit back at the end.
Mhm.
That that's basically that basically seems like the plot of the movie to me.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I feel you. I mean, I think it's Sony. Sony. I
And
mean,
plus they want to also go take Spidey out of the MCU. Like after Spider-Man Homecoming 2, that's it. He's not going to be.
well, we'll get to that real quick because
Yeah.
I've been researching some stuff about it,
Mhm.
and we're gonna first talk real quick about the spin-offs, and that's the Venom and Black Cat and Sable. And for me, it's just getting to the point where I'm just like, I think Sony Pictures Entertainment, whatever you want to call it, Sony Pictures. I don't think they know what they're doing. I don't know who the president is right now. And Amy, I know it's not Amy Pascal. Like she's been demoted so much because of the choices that she's had in the past with like Ghostbusters and all that, and leaked emails and everything. And Venom, for me, I don't see it warranted a rated R film because Venom hasn't been that brutal. If we look at the comics, and I've read some comics for Venom, he doesn't really end up killing many people, and really, his whole grudge is against with Spider-Man. He doesn't really end up killing innocents. He targets the people that are close to Spider-Man, and that's his whole demeanor is because of this symbiote is pissed off at Spider-Man for the rejection that he rejected the symbiote, and Eddie Brock because of the things that Peter Parker did to Eddie when he had the suit on. And when you don't have that and you're using this as a spin-off, there's not much like things I think you can do, and then that means there's going to be a whole rewrite of Venom in his origin and everything, and that's just not how to do it. And making it rated R just doesn't seem like it. Like, I can understand if you're doing a spin-off of Carnage because he has killed so much brutally in the comics, right? And that deserves a rated R. But this, I don't know. What do you guys think about the Venom spin-off, Inspector?
yeah, as we were saying, with the R rating, like it doesn't deserve an R rating. As you said, Carnage, yes, that deserves an R rating because Carnage is Carnage. He's brutal. He kills people, a lot of people, and other than that, like if you take out Spider-Man, there's like no context for any of these people being in this universe. Like if they're planning on like restarting this universe and there's no Spider-Man, there's like no context for everyone. Silver Sable, there's no context for her. There's no context for Black Cat because she's intrinsic to like Spider-Man because she's a love interest or like semi-love interest. He's basically Spider-Man's Catwoman. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Black Cat's like essentially like it's would you call it a secondary love interest? I guess so. Main love interest is main love interest is I don't know how to use the first love interest is Gwen Stacy. Then it goes to Mary Jane, and then when he breaks up with Mary Jane, it's with Black Cat and all that.
Then he has Buddy Brandt. Then he has Carly Cooper.
Exactly.
Then he has Black Cat. So there's like a big like hierarchy.
Yeah.
Of Spider-Man love interests. So
exactly. Yeah. So to me, it's like Black Cat is always fascinated with Spider-Man, not Peter Parker. Spider-Man. I mean, for crying out loud, like in some comics, it's like, keep the mask on.
Yeah, it's just like, as I said, it's just like Catwoman and Batman, where Catwoman like isn't really interested in Bruce, but she's like infatuated with Batman. It's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. And then Sable, Sable is more intrinsic with what Latveria and stuff like that. So it's like you don't have that area of for the comics and that property from Fox. So I don't know. They would have to rewrite that too. And to me, it's like, I don't know. Could it be a failsafe for him coming to that universe? Who knows? What about you, Taladia? What do you think?
I think the Venom movie spin-off thing, I don't think it deserves a rated R like you guys. I don't think it deserves that. I think it should be maybe underrated R, maybe PG-18, no, PG-13. That's what I would put it. And as well with the Sable and the Black Cat movie, it would not make sense, unless they, somehow, tease Spider-Man being in a, secondary movie or something, further along the line, which I'm sure they probably will do. Then that's the only way I see that happening. But as far as the Venom movie goes, it doesn't deserve a rated R. That's my honest opinion on that.
And what about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think?
It's just why? Like, you're doing movies that with characters that either like you don't care about, like Silver Sable and like Black Cat, or like Spider-Man needs to be integral to, like with Venom, because like you can't do a Venom movie without Spider-Man. And like I don't know why Sony's been pushing this thing. Like they tried to do it with the Amazing Spider-Man series, and that's probably, I think that's a huge reason why that series failed. Like with that and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 doing so badly, and like it's just why? It's like you don't need to. You're in a good spot already with Spider-Man being in the MCU. It's just we don't need spin-off movies. That's all I need to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's like it's so weird. It's like Sony's gaming division is so perfect. It's so good. I mean, not perfect, but amazing. Compared to the movie division doesn't know what they were doing with all their films. It's like, oh, it's have Men in Black, meet 21 Jump Street, and then Ghostbusters. Let's make it female cast because the females are gonna like it.
Why?
It being a good film.
It's a mess. It's a straightforward mess.
It's like, and the gaming division is doing great. And
Yeah.
I just don't understand why they can't have that mindset in the movie division. Because if they continue on this path, they're going to have to sell the movie division, which isn't going to be great for them. And then they're going to just be focused on games, which, hey, man, all for that. And look, I give props. I got to give credit. Shock made a good point and said they can do different iterations of Spider-Man. For hell, they're doing Miles Morales in an animated film. That makes sense. All right, cool. That's good. You're doing a spinoff like that. Okay, that makes sense. And then do Spider-Man 2099. You could do that as a standalone spinoff film.
Like Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, you could do that
too.
Like, there's so many things. Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Verse. Like
even a symbiote Spider-Man, for crying out loud, for a spinoff. Because like Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions essentially kind of did that, and you see all the different Spider-Mans, and Spider-Men is the correct word, and they could do that, and it could be kind of cool if they bridge the gap between them and do like a cool team-up movie-esque thing in whatever you want to call it, alternate universe or Madam Web's there, who knows.
Just make an animated Spider-Verse movie and just bring back like the other Spider-Man and add some new ones in there. Like, think of how much that could sell well. Like, you got Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and then a whole other cast of other Spider-Man to play with and have fun with.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think?
So much opportunity. But so much opportunity, and they're just wasting it on spin-off movies that we just don't want.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So what do you guys think? Do you think they should, abandon those projects and do like the Spider-Man 2099 and then eventually have this kind of like team-up-esque movie with like Madam Web and stuff like that, and we'll go with Inspector.
I'm all for that. Just because like it's like the Spider-Man mythos is like very deep, and they have like so many like different universes to choose from. Like we said, they could do 2099, they can do Noir, they can do like so many different universes. Like we said, Spider-Gwen, or like MC2, Mayday Parker, Spider-Girl, like all those,
And Scarlet Spider.
and Scarlet Spider. Like there's just so many things to choose from.
Mhm.
So if they could do like a Sony animated universe, that would be like really cool. I'm up for that.
Yeah. What about you, Taladio? What do you think?
I think I'm up for it as well. Like, I mean, they could do it like the Spidey saga, like they did in the animated series back in the 90s, if you guys can remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah. So if they did that as a standalone movie, and if they did, updated it a little bit more, where they had, different Spider-Mans, I'm sure it'll bring back a lot of older fans and newer fans. It will sell, and there's a lot of they could do a number of things with that. I mean, bring Madam Web into it. I mean, it'd be so cool to have that as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So we'll go into the segue of what Taladio was speaking of. Spider-Man Homecoming sequel. After the sequel for that film, that Spider-Man's not going to be in the MCU. And I've been doing research and, been watching a lot of videos and people making interesting key points. And I don't remember the video particularly. And, forgive me for if you're watching this, not giving you credit, but he was saying that we shouldn't freak out and that I think it was actually emergency awesome. Look, I dislike the guy at points. But he made a compelling point that they may renegotiate, but then also that Amy Pascal isn't the higher up like she used to be. She's not really calling the shots anymore, and we shouldn't really take her statement as factual. Because like, isn't she just a producer on this film, and that's about it?
Yeah, she's a producer.
Yeah, and she's not like I forgot if she was president or not, but yeah, I think she was president of Pictures. Sony Pictures, but like now she's not after the whole scandal and all that stuff. And look, if they end up doing it, I think it's going to bite them in the ass. I think it really is, but I don't think it's going to happen like that. I do think there will be renegotiations, behind the scenes and before the time comes. And look, if they benefit greatly and they're making tons of money, I don't see them saying, "Look, we don't want to be a part of this anymore." I can totally see if Spider-Man doesn't sell well, then they'll be like, all right, we're going to do our own thing. No. But that's my 2 cents on the whole situation. I feel that some people are kind of jumping the gun and saying, oh, Amy's speaking for whole Sony. I just don't see that as fact. So we'll go with what Inspector thinks.
Yeah, as you said, I think people are jumping the gun. John Campea, I know people don't like John Campea too, but he has his off days, like Emergency Awesome. But he said not to be worried because of the same things. Like they might renegotiate because keep in mind deals are like not set in stone. They have an expiration date. So like when you sign a deal, like for like 2 years or like 5 years, 10 years, or in case of Spider-Man, like 2 or 3 movies, like it's going to expire, and they would need to renegotiate the terms. And if they don't come to a negotiation, like it goes back to Sony, because Spider-Man, the full rights of Spider-Man are still owned by Sony. It's just a co-production between Disney and Sony. So don't get all up in arms about it.
Yeah. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think?
Hearing that he might leave the cinematic universe, it makes me a little sad because, like, when they first announced it, like, everybody was ecstatic. Like, Spider-Man teaming up with Iron Man, Captain America, the Avengers, like it sounded like the greatest idea. And like Civil War, he was the best part of that entire movie. Like, despite it being a great movie itself, but like he stole the show. And like Homecoming and Infinity War, it makes me more excited for the Marvel movies than I have been in a while. And hearing him leave, like, it's just, I don't want it to be a situation where he leaves the cinematic universe and then they just reboot him again. And like that just goes off the rails and just, I'd rather just have him in the cinematic universe and just keep him there.
Right. All right. Good point. Good point. What about you, Talati? Do you agree with me or Inspector and your feelings like Marvel DC fan?
I agree with Inspector. Like, it's not confirmed like until they sit back down and do the negotiations and everything, because, like he said, it's a contract deal, and like he was set for 3 or 4 movies, and like after that, I know that they'll probably sit back down, they'll renegotiate something, and whatever will be will be. But at the end of the day, you know, if it does end up that Spider-Man's going back to Sony, then it's a bummer for the MCU. But if he stays in the MCU, then it's a plus. It shows that they did really good business work there.
Yeah, sure. What are your impressions for Amy Pascal? Do you think that she should have said that, or do you think that represents Sony as a whole?
It represents her as what she is. She shouldn't have said anything at all, because because what she's said is put a whole the whole Marvel fans and Spidey fans are worried. You see, and if she didn't say anything, then people wouldn't be worried and concerned and everything, and this really puts her down, like get demoted again even further down the line. And I can see that happening for her, which I'm sorry, but it's what you said. You shouldn't have done it. So that's what I've got. That's what I've got to say.
Yeah, I just feel like everyone just keeps forgetting that she's not that high up as she was in the past. And I feel that everyone thinks that what she said represents Sony in any fact, like their decision making, which it doesn't. I will not be surprised if she's not a producer in the sequel to Homecoming. I really highly doubt it. And she's not going to be in the negotiation tables. I can assure you of that. It's not going to happen.
Because of the leaks, isn't it? Yeah.
That stuff too. It's like, it's not going to happen. She's not like what she was before. She's not going to be making the shots. Like, she only made the shots for like the Amazing Spider-Man franchise and also, the Ghostbusters and all that. And you see how that went down. But that's just me. And now we're going to talk a bit about the DC news, and we'll talk quickly about Justice League. I thought the trailer was solid. There was a rumor of the runtime being 20 minutes longer than the
Yes.
yeah
2 hours 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, yeah, it's a rumor at that point. IMBD. So I mean, take that with a grain of salt. I highly doubt that that's going to be the movie. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Zack Snyder making an extended edition. He does that with a lot of his movies, so you can probably expect that addition to happen. But I think it's a solid movie. And so far, it's cool. I do like the representation of the Flash. I think that's very unique and different than what the Flash TV show is doing.
I guess you could say it's very unique.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Jeez, blinders. Oh shit. I love Jason Momoa. I love that guy. He's so cool, and I loved him in Game of Thrones. I haven't seen Frontier yet for Netflix, but I want to. But yeah, no, I mean he's going to be a good Aquaman, and Cyborg. I mean, I think the CGI needs to be worked on his suit quite a bit more, and I mean, what else can I say? I mean, I kind of a little concerned for Batman in a way. In terms of like, I guess humor. So far for Batman is a little bit more than I like. Like, for just me though. That's a personal preference. It's not like I like. I don't know how to say. I like the representation in the Arkham series and even the animated. If it's more like aligned like that, that's the most comedy you'll have from Batman. Like in the animated series like that, then that's fine with me. And they're just showing that just to show that. But that's just like me nitpicking for Batman. But who else? Parademons look pretty cool, and the fight scenes so far look pretty epic. And really have no comment on Wonder Woman so far from the trailer. I mean, we're gonna have to see more from the Wonder Woman movie, which we're gonna talk about after our review and our impressions for the Justice League trailer. But overall, I think it's solid. I mean, it is what it is so far. So we'll bring it to Claudio. What do you think?
I thought the Justice League trailer was awesome. Like they didn't reveal anything. Like they didn't reveal Superman, which is I thought it was a good move. Aquaman, it just it's so cool to see him, and Cyborg as well, and the Flash. And it did like it did sell to me. It literally states, "Come watch the movie," and to me, I feel as if the 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 whole visual effects thing looks awesome. The parademons, the mother box, even the likes of Batman's Nightcrawler, which is awesome as well. And they did have a bit of a puns as well, like Flash asking him, "So what's your superpowers?" Spoiler alert. And Batman goes, "Well, I'm rich." So
Yeah.
yes, so it literally states that it's going to be a fun movie to watch. So I just hope that when it comes down to Comic-Con and then hopefully in September, October time, they will do something similar to what they did for the first trailer, but they'll at least they won't spoil it. I hope.
What about you, Inspector? What do you think?
Like Claudia, I really like the trailer. I only have a few nitpicks. As you said, like the beginning voiceover was kind of iffy. And I don't like how they're cutting these trailers to songs. I like it better when there's just like the score behind it because it makes it more epic. Like the song was fine. The Beatles, I'm not a big Beatles fan, so the song didn't really do anything for me. Like it fit the theme, like bringing everyone together. Aquaman was definitely the standout. I get what you mean with Batman with the humor. Like it's more sarcastic, kind of like Tony Stark. I guess they're trying to make him like Tony Stark,
Yeah.
but I hope it's like less quippy than Tony Stark because Tony Stark is a quip machine.
Mhm.
Like I hope they don't go too Tony Stark with Bruce Wayne. So
Mhm.
yeah, other than that, the action looks great. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Cool, cool.
Does it sell to you though? That's the question.
Yeah, it definitely sells it to me. I know people are still iffy on it because of Zack Snyder and all that stuff, and to their own. Like they're entitled to their worriness.
Opinions, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you can kind of blame the whole music thing on Suicide Squad. I mean, look, Suicide Squad did it amazingly, and but like everyone, it's a fad now. Like trailers are doing that. Fast and Furious is doing that. What were other trailers that Resident Evil did that and all that jazz? Like it's. I mean, it's a fad. It's gonna happen. I don't know when it will die out with the music going with the sounds and stuff like that.
Yeah, Guardians is the main example because they kind of started it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With
But
the
I feel
first
like then
Guardians.
Suicide Squad kind of perfected
Yeah.
that to me, and then there was a snowball effect.
Yeah, I kind of blame Suicide Squad too for that. So with the whole trailers getting cut to music. I hope the Comic Con trailer, which I assume there's not going to be another trailer until Comic Con, so calm down, guys.
Mhm.
There's not going to be another trailer until Comic Con, but I hope that trailer isn't cut to a song. I hope there's like score Like,
Yeah, I think there'll be a
Or
score by then.
Do we know though who's scoring this? Or
No.
Junkie XL
Junkie X. Oh,
and
okay.
someone else. Junkie XL is teaming with someone else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about the trailer?
It was good. I mean, action was really cool. The cast was solid, and the trailer overall, it was a good trailer. But I, I kind of feel like it's the same thing with the Homecoming trailer too. Is like I was expecting more out of it, and I just didn't really
Mhm.
enjoyed it that much. Like the Comic Con trailer, I loved the Comic Con trailer for Justice League, and then this one, I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Maybe too much high expectations will do that to you.
Maybe.
Mm. And quickly, we'll just talk quick Batman news. And yeah, it's been confirmed, of course, Matt Reeves is directing it. I was always wanting Matt Reeves to direct it, and then, you hear him like people having to cool their heads off after the during the negotiations phases. And then they said, yeah, it's going to happen. And I'm excited for that. I'm a little worried though, like from what we're hearing from conflicting things with Joe and saying, oh, he doesn't know if he's going to be in the movie now, and this whole script rewrite, if that has any validation now. And look, like I have no idea. I mean, look, if they don't want him to do it, if it doesn't make it better, then I'm totally fine with that. And they could do other storylines, which I'm fine with. If they're going to do a whole rewrite, I'm totally fine with that. They want to do Under the Red Hood. Look, I'm a fanboy for that storyline, and I would love that. But that's just me. So, what do you guys think? And we'll start with Inspector.
Yeah. About the whole Batman news, like I'm really excited for Matt Reeves, and I'm happy that like he's bringing on a producer from Apes. We'll get to Apes briefly later. But I'm really excited for Batman, even with all the drama and stuff. And if Joe decides to like opt out of Deathstroke, or like they decide to like cut Deathstroke, I feel a good replacement would be Lady Sheila. Because if they want to keep like a really physical type villain, Lady Shiva is as good, if not better, than Deathstroke in hand-to-hand combat. So I feel she would like be a perfect fit for if they want to go a more physical route for the villain.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I agree with that. What about you, Taladio? What do you think?
I agree. Like I agree with the Inspector. Like you're gonna have, if you're gonna replace Deathstroke, have Lady Shiva come in, and you could easily be one of those, even better than what Deathstroke could be, a hand-to-hand combat fighting, fighting what's it called, sequel, which would be awesome. But I honestly think that Matt Reeves directing it, at least now, all director has been sorted out, so that's cool. And also the writers as well, that's also been getting sorted out now. So hopefully by the time, either by Comic-Con or by Justice League, we'll have some further details into this.
Yep, exactly. And what about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think?
Well, I don't really have much on the topics. Like, I'm glad they found a director with Matt Reeves. For rewrites, I mean, I wouldn't mind it if it makes the movie better. Deathstroke being cut out, like, I wouldn't mind it, and like, I think it'd be cool to see Batman and Deathstroke in a movie together. But if he has to be cut out, then their decision. But yeah, I don't really have much to talk about it with this topic.
Yeah, and supposedly they cut back shooting until next year, so like February, March, maybe near there. So don't expect the movie until like I would say at the earliest summer 2019.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
though it's gonna be like a fall 2019 for me. I feel that.
Yeah, but judging by like Matt Reeves's like release dates for like the Apes movies and like the pattern for like the Batman movies, which like almost always come out in like June, July.
Yeah, that
I would
makes more
assume
sense.
I would assume like mid-July
Because
would be like the best.
I don't think that they should though put it near like May for 2019 because
Yeah, they're not going to put it in May
Yeah.
because Star Wars is going back to May supposedly. So
interesting.
yeah.
All right, and we got more, I guess, Batman news, but it's not really Batman news. It's Batgirl news, right? And that
Mhm.
potentially Josh Whedon is directing the movie. And I mean, what can I say about Josh Whedon? I mean, hey man, Buffy the Vampire man, that was pretty good, right? If you're a hardcore fan, I mean, I watched a couple episodes here and there. You know, when I was a kid, when my mom was watching that show. You know, don't judge me, but I think I mean, hey, Josh Whedon. I mean, I think that would be a cool choice. I mean, I haven't really seen many movies besides Avengers, of course. I don't really know what he brings to the table besides like Avengers movies. So, if you ask me, it's like I don't know, maybe, but we'll go with more of an expert of someone who watches Josh Whedon movies, and hopefully Inspector is that one.
I'm not the one because basically the only Joss Whedon movie I've seen are the Avengers movies. I haven't seen Buffy. I haven't seen Firefly or Serenity. I know those cult fan bases, but I'm not familiar with them. Actually, I tried getting into Firefly. I think I watched like 5 minutes and I couldn't get into it. No offense to Firefly fans out there. But Joss Whedon, he's 50-50 for me because he's known to being the quip master general. He loves his quips. I don't want the Batgirl movie to be like all quips. It's interesting that they would do a Batgirl movie knowing that they haven't like
Established
Batgirl in this universe. And supposedly it's being like based off the New 52 run, so it's going to be Barbara Gordon. I hope to myself that it would be Cassandra Cain because Cassandra Cain is actually my favorite Batgirl. I feel Barbara is more useful as Oracle than Batgirl, but that's just me. So yeah, I'm interested. I'm 50-50 on it though.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen for Buffy, I mean, he knows how to make strong, leads for females. But yeah, what I've seen, look, it's like maybe secretly I've watched all the Buffy the Vampire episodes. Maybe I have. Maybe it's a guilty pleasure, but hey, it seems like he knows how to make strong female leads, and I don't think he'll make it that quippy. I mean, maybe here and there, but I think Buffy the Vampire handled it well. Not that I've watched all of it.
I mean, he is writing, directing, and producing. If he's getting signed on, so.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think, Taladio?
I think it's a good move by DC to get Josh Whedon because obviously I'm sure he wanted to do a female, a female movie, but Marvel said no, and that's
he wanted to do Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they said no. So DC probably thought, all right, because Josh Whedon ain't gonna do another Marvel movie, why don't we have him make a Batgirl movie? And to be fair, I hope it's not Barbara Gordon. I hope they do like what Inspector said, they have somebody else to be Batgirl, and it'd be interesting to see how the story will connect to the DC extended universe because there hasn't been any mention of her as of yet in Batman vs Superman or even in Justice League, which I doubt it will.
I mean, hopefully that they'll make hints in the new Batman film, make a cameo appearance or something like that.
Or possibly even in the Nightwing movie as well, because you guys gotta remember.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, no, that there's a Nightwing movie coming out, guys. So
Mhm. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think?
I actually never heard anything about them making a Batman, Batgirl movie with Joss Whedon. But from what I hear, I mean, it's interesting. Like,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind if.
The news
I wouldn't
basically just
mind.
came out today.
by Variety.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a Barbara Gordon Batgirl movie, but I think it would be cool to see some of the other Batgirls, like Cassandra Cain or what another one.
Stephanie Brown.
Yep, thank you for that. Like Stephanie Brown and like have Oracle be on the side.
Mm.
Because I think Barbara Gordon is a better character as Oracle than Batgirl, but that's just me. But yeah, it's interesting.
True. I mean,
Yeah.
we do have those hardcore Barbara Gordon fans that will eat anything up, right? I'm just kidding, guys. That's an inside joke between all of us. You
Yeah.
guys
Yeah,
understand,
yeah.
and we'll not comment any further on that joke.
But yeah, as I was saying earlier, when I was talking to Shaladia earlier, and as I said, supposedly they're basing it off the New 52 run. But the thing about the New 52 run is that the whole point of that New 52 run was Barbara getting over her paralysis and becoming Batgirl again. So does that mean she's already paralyzed and like she has to, like, that's a big point in her story. Like I can't imagine that they would just like gloss over that.
Hmm.
That's why I think it would be better to be Cassandra Cain, because like if I said Deathstroke isn't in Batman, Lady Shiva would be like the perfect like segue into Cassandra Cain, because Lady Shiva is Cassandra Cain's mother. So they like go right into that.
Yep, I agree. I think that's all for the Justice League news for now that has come out and that we thought is pretty interesting. Oh wait, I completely forgot. I believe IGN has had a sneak peek or at CinemaCon. I don't know. It's one of the cons, and
they had a sneak peek at CinemaCon where they showed Justice League footage. They showed
Wonder Woman.
They showed like a Wonder Woman scene, a few Wonder Woman scenes, and they showed concept art for Aquaman.
Yep. And so far, they said it's looking good. Well, from what I've seen from IGN, they said it's been looking good. They showed 10 minutes of footage of some action scenes and the relationship between her and I forgot the character for
Steve
Trevor.
Yes, Steve Trevor, and that it's pretty good. And so far, it looks really good. And then the Justice League, it was just a couple added dialogues between like I think it was Flash and I think it might have been Aquaman.
Yeah, Flash. I think it was Flash.
No, Cyborg. I think it was Cyborg actually. Yeah, but I mean, not much to go on for there because it's not much that they added to the trailer.
Yeah, because CinemaCon, guys, it's not going to be released to the public because CinemaCon is exclusive to the con. But it's all about like them like marketing to like the theater owners and stuff. So it's not going to be released to the public.
No.
Yep, and this will be the last movie news that we're going to talk about.
There's one more. There's one more.
What?
The review for Power Rangers.
Oh, okay. We'll actually do that after for War for the Planet of the Apes, and
okay.
We'll talk War for the Planet of the Apes. I didn't see the trailer because I'm gonna do a quick reaction for that. But we'll get your guys' thoughts. Look, I'm already hooked for Planet of the Apes. I loved all the ape films, besides those 80s and 90s or 70s or 60s. Ape films. I haven't seen those, and the Mark Wahlberg one was not that great. But from what I've seen from from the Matt Reeves and Rise of the Planet of Apes as well, those films are really good, and they have really good dialogue, really good story, and even good action scenes. They already got me hooked. Like before the trailer came out, like I knew it was going to be good, and they gave that initial trailer, and it's amazing. And Andy is just a great actor. But we'll give the floor to people that have seen the trailer And we'll go with Inspector.
The trailer was so amazing. Like there was so much emotion in that trailer, and like it's not really a spoiler, but in the background, it's basically like a loop of Koba saying "apes together strong," and it's like really powerful. And they show like a bunch of action scenes, and it's beautiful. And this and the motion capture just keeps getting better and better.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Andy Serkis works on that shit daily for motion capture, so it's gonna be
and
crazy.
Woody Harrelson looks great too.
Yeah, I heard like look, I only known him for like the comedy roles, but like from what I've heard, he's actually good actor.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised. Like I was like, damn, he's gonna play a villain-esque role, and it's like that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So what about you, Taladia? What do you think?
I agree with Inspector 100%. And just to add on to what Inspector said, I do think this is Matt Reeves' big bang to his masterpiece of the Planet of the Apes saga that he has built.
Yeah.
And what about you, Marvel DC fan? Have you seen the trailer, and what do you think about the whole series?
No, I haven't seen the trailer. I want to. Maybe after the podcast, I will. But like you said, I was excited for the movie even before any trailers or something like that came out. And like I love the series so far. The older movies, I haven't watched. I want to one day, but I just haven't. Tim Burton, well, I think we can all forget about that one. But Rise was good. Dawn was even better, and then my expectations for War, it is War of the Planet of the Apes. I'm ecstatic for this movie, man, and hopefully that second trailer gets me even more excited.
Nice. And we're gonna quickly actually do a little segue. Once we're gonna talk quickly what movies we've seen, and then we're gonna give the floor to Taladia for his movie review for Power Rangers. And quickly, movies I've seen this month are, I believe, starting off Logan, and then it was Life, and then it was Kong, and maybe Ghost in the Shell. Hopefully, I can see that. I'm hearing, actually pretty good things for Ghost in the Shell. I heard if you're, a big time anime fan for the movie, it's good, and if you like the sci-fi esque film, it's pretty good film. I mean, I heard though the third act is a little muddled, but besides that, it's supposedly a good film. But that is really all the movies I've seen. And what about you, Inspector? What movies have you seen? Oh, Beauty and the Beast. I've seen Beauty and the Beast. And what about you, Inspector?
Like you, I've seen Logan. I really liked Logan. I had some problems with it, but overall, I really liked it. I saw Kong. Didn't really like it that much. Pretty mediocre, very messy. No characters. They're just meat bags for Kong to kill. And I saw Beauty and the Beast, and I know Beauty and the Beast is getting mixed reviews, but I personally really liked Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, Emma Watson's voice is kind of like up and down, but everybody else, like Luke Evans, like killed it as Gaston. He was really like the best part of the movie. I haven't seen Power Rangers yet. I meant to see Power Rangers over the weekend, but I just didn't get time. And I've heard mixed things about Power Rangers too. Some like it's half and half in terms of critical reception. And I'm personally not interested in Ghost in the Shell, so I probably won't see that.
Cool. I mean, and also I think I don't know if I mentioned it. I also saw Life, and pretty cool film.
Yeah, how was that Venom origin film?
Oh yeah, it's totally that's totally Venom, man. When I saw that shit, I was like, this is the Venom I grew up with. Oh my gosh. People are so I got a comment. I don't know how people thought that was a Venom origin film. Because A, that doesn't look anything like Venom. B, it doesn't have the same color textures, unless Sony is really dumb and they're like, yeah, that is totally what Venom looks like. Even Spider-Man 3, we've done that, right? They are so alike, and I'm like, no, it's not that. It's a cool film. I'll quickly talk about it. I am doing a review for it. It is getting mixed reviews. I did get an early screening for the film, just like Kong. And I saw the film with a friend of mine. It was pretty cool. Ryan Reynolds is a standout, and I think it's funny though for his character. It sucks just to say that. And overall, I did like the film. I did have one major problem with the film, and that would be spoiler territory. It's just where it was like some scene was very like it just didn't like make sense. It didn't like it wasn't smooth in that area. It's like, how did that happen? That from going this scene to this scene. And but overall, I like the whole cast, and it is set up for a sequel. And these are the writers that did Deadpool, and I would like to see a sequel, but I don't know if it will get a sequel. And but if you like a horror sci-fi thriller, like you come to the right place to see that film. But yeah, anything's better than seeing Chips, because I had an early screening for that as well. But yeah. So what about you, Taladio? What movies have you seen?
Logan, I enjoyed that. I've also watched the Lego Batman movie as well over the last 2 months. I enjoyed that movie as well. A lot of fun. And obviously I've watched the Power Rangers movie as well. So those are the 3 movies I've watched.
That's nice. What about you, Marvel DC fan?
Logan, of course, just like everyone else. And I loved Logan. I thought it was a stunning movie. If there's anything that I really kind of disliked, is that the villains are kind of a little bit forgettable, and like they don't really hold my interest. But like everything else about the movie was great. I also saw Kong too, and I mean it's entertaining, but I wouldn't say it's good. Saw that in 3D, and well, wasn't really the greatest. And this weekend I'm actually gonna go see Beauty and Beast, so I'm hoping it's good. I'm just gonna wait and see, and maybe I'll do a review of it later on.
Nice. Yeah, Kong. I'll quickly give a rundown for that real quick. Just Kong for me was like, forgettable characters, average story. I wouldn't say lackluster. It was an average, and characters, no character development. Too much humor, too much forced humor. Half the jokes didn't stick. What else did I not like about the film? Character motivations for a certain character just doesn't make any logical sense. And Kong was barely in the film. 20 minutes tops he was in the film. So when people make the fucking excuse, well, it makes more, time for Kong. No, it doesn't make more time for Kong. Shut the fuck up. Okay? It doesn't make more time for Kong. You're fucking lying to yourself. If it did, they would have Kong in it for longer.
Yeah.
So that's not a fucking excuse. But I mean, cast overall was pretty, like, in terms of acting, it's good. But in cinematography, it looks nice. And the action, what we got was cool of Kong.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's like not good. And sometimes it didn't mesh well. But that's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah. And if you want to see an hour-long music video for 70s protest music, Kong's for you.
Oh yeah, dude, a lot of music in there. Jeez. And then if you're a big fan of the what is it, the Monster Universe, I guess that's for you as well. With the end credit scene where everyone in my theater was so damn excited and screaming like crazy. I was just like, huh.
I didn't say because I didn't care.
I was like, huh. Yeah, I mean, if you're a big monster buff, and I guess you'll like it, but if you love movies like it's just not there. But we're gonna go into Taladia for his Power Rangers movie review.
Okay, guys. By the way, this is a spoiler review, so if you do not want to listen to the spoilers, if you haven't seen it, then pause. Just wait 20 minutes and then, or 10 minutes at least, and then you can continue on from the video. Anyway, so Power Rangers was a great movie. It brings back a lot of memories. Obviously, this movie had 5 teenagers, with attitude, and it was different to the original. And the reason why that was because they had different things. Like for example, Jason, he was, a football stroke, American football, I should say, um, player, and he turns out to be, does something stupid and silly, and he ends up in detention. And there was a lot of like with Billy as well. He was very funny, and him and Jason have a bit of a connection there, and as well they had a gay character. Well, I wouldn't. Well, yeah, gay character, which is Trini, the Yellow Ranger, and she was interesting. She acted like a badass and everything, and as well the basically the main, I think it was the main first half of the movie. It was all about the cast, the characters who are playing the Power Rangers, and then about halfway through to the end, it's basically you get non-stop Power Rangers straight up. It's a movie. It's a fun movie, and you guys will enjoy it. If you're old fans, you'll enjoy the nostalgia. You like that type of thing, um, and obviously kids will like it because they love Power Rangers. Um, and as well, there is a cameo from the two of the original Power Rangers, which is um, Tommy Oliver, aka Jason David Frank, and Kimberly Hart, aka Amy Jo Johnson. So that was a bit cool. But obviously, the Power Rangers movie, I would give it about a 6 or a 7 out of 10 because it was a fun movie. But don't forget, guys, this is one movie out of 7, so there will be a number of movies coming out in the near future, but we'll have to wait and see. But just before I end the movie review, there was a hint at the Green Ranger as well coming in the next movie. So that's what I have to say about that.
And supposedly they're looking for a female Green Ranger.
Yeah, supposedly as well, they're looking for a female Green Ranger because the Rita was one as well. So yeah.
Cool. So yeah, if you're a Power Rangers fan, you can go check that out. So we're gonna quickly do one last topic, and that is the Colin leaving Kind of Funny and starting his own YouTube channel with politics and history. And we're gonna go into the meat of the issue, and the issue is he said a joke on International Women's Day or something like that, and said day without a woman. It's supposed to be a dad joke. Everyone went like ape shit and attacking him and saying, I expected better from you, even though you helped get me a job and got me through the gaming industry, screw you, gonna throw you under the bus. And I was just like, wow, damn, people gonna attack the man, then you're gonna make articles saying he's a racist. Like, what? A racist? I didn't know saying a day without a woman it's a racist thing now. It's like, come on, media. You gotta be better with that shit. And look, it was a joke. I don't know why people were up in arms. And then you got people like Tim and Greg is like, this isn't part of the Kind of Funny. And we don't condone this. And this doesn't represent Kind of Funny, even though, Greg, and his shows have, made abortion jokes and other things like that. But he doesn't get any flack because it's on a damn podcast. And Colin makes a tweet and he gets attacked for it. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that he should have felt uncomfortable that he had to resign. And that to me is why Kind of Funny is now declining. You're seeing on the videos they're getting a whole bunch of dislikes. And it doesn't have that flair. And then you got Tim and Greg, and you see on the shows they keep talking about Zelda, 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 and not the criticisms. Colin gave the criticisms when he talked about Zelda. And all I'm hearing now is Zelda. It's like, oh, I'm on my Nintendo Switch, I'm playing Zelda instead of playing this game and this game. It's like, cool. I kind of want to hear about the other games, though. But whatever. And he's on Joe Rogan, and then Joe Rogan's podcast. You can hear about that. And he said, essentially, that his friends didn't have his back, which are the Kind of Funny people, which, come on now. If your friends... You're gonna defend the guy. It's a joke. Can no one take a joke? And like his girlfriend was there when he sent the tweet. She was right there, and she thought it was funny. But no, screw Colin. Even though his girlfriend found it funny, and she was a woman, what he did was wrong, and they need to, attack somebody, get those clicks like they did with PewDiePie, and. Then you hear on Dave Rubin, and he said like he was emotional, and he said you are my newest friend, but you feel like you're my oldest friend, and like that was right to the heart, and it's like, dang, Colin, the feels are strong, but then it shows to you even his longest friends and oldest friends are just not there to help him or defend him. Which to me is sick. And I, for one, am supporting Colin. I subscribe to his channel. It's called Colin's Last Stand. You guys can support it too if you like politics, you like history, and you just support him. You don't have to be a Patreon supporter. You can just watch his YouTube channel and see what he does. He's a very interesting man. He's very intelligent. And he knows what he's talking about. I mean, if you're looking for gaming news and stuff like that, he's not going to do that anymore. He'll tweet it if it has anything to do with politics and all that. But so far, yeah. And I hope Colin the best and Kind of Funny. I have unsubscribed to them. And Tim has rubbed me the wrong way several times. And the way he said that in the tweet, where he's just like, oh, we don't need those kind of fans. And I was just like, wow. And then Brian Altano making that joke. And then Vincent, I think, was asking for Colin's job right after he left. And he was one of those people that got the job on IGN from Colin. And I was like, wow. But whatever. It is what it is. And we're going to just talk in the panel and see what anybody has their thoughts. Do they disagree with Colin, or do you think that they should have defended him, and we're going to go with Taladia?
I think they should have agreed with Colin, like stick with Colin. That's the thing, because what Kind of Funny has done, it's wrong. I know it might have been a joke, but you don't have to be excessive about that. I mean, that kind of joke will make people feel uncomfortable watching your video, and as well doing that joke, it's really, really bad, and forcing the guy to quit his job, which I felt as if he's been robbed. Like, I think he doesn't deserve to be resigning whatsoever. Like, obviously I know what Game Over Greggy did, but yeah, come on, dude. Game Over Greggy, I'm not even subscribed to your channel, and I never will. I used to watch you on IGN, and then when you jumped ship, just because we're not getting this and we're getting that, I'm like, all right, fine, leave IGN. Like, anybody needs you. Am I right? Am I wrong, guys?
It is what I mean. They wanted to do their own thing. I kind of agree with them leaving because they were trying to do something else. They believed that the websites aren't what they are to be. Like, Colin has said that in the past, and he said, look, I think that IGN and those sites are dying off, and YouTube is the way to go.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
people are
there's-
looking for the reviews, and they're looking for what they think are right, and the people they're following. Like, let's say, like, I follow Colin for his reviews. I have the same taste as him, and that's one of the reasons why I was subscribed to Kind of Funny, which you guys probably know from the tone and from how I'm acting. Yeah, I've unsubscribed from Kind of Funny, and that's the whole reason it was they left, is because they wanted to be in that different media sense and to get ahead of the curve once IGN and Polygon are kind of gone from the website era.
Yeah, but do you agree with me? Like, they've went too far with this stupid joke.
No, yeah, no, I agree completely. Like, it's a joke, it's a dad's joke, but I feel that people like to crucify people once they say something that's somehow offensive, even though, like, how is this really offensive towards you is beyond me. That's just my thought process. It's a joke. It's a dad's joke. Freaking every dad has said that joke,
Yeah.
even to their kids. It's like, oh, your mom's gone so good, stuff like that. And I'm just like, for crying out loud, it's a joke. You need to simmer down, but then you got to make up things saying he's a racist, which just shows how much of a media source you are. And
Yeah.
that's just me. What about you, Marvel DC fan?
Well, I didn't actually hear anything about this at all, but from what I've been hearing from you guys, and it's just wrong. Like, he made just a joke, and then it got escalated to somewhere it didn't need to be, and the fact that the rest of the Kind of Funny crew didn't back him up and support him for that it's just wrong, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would also say, now you're not going to have that critical point, and then you're going to have Tim and Greg always hyping up games that don't need to be hyped. And that's going to continue to happen now.
And they also got somebody else to replace him as well.
Mhm.
Colin as well, which is sad, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who it is or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. And what else do I have to say as well before we get to Inspector is I think that we also got to look at the YouTube views, right? Colin Was Right videos. Watch those. Those were really good and well put together, and those things got thousands and thousands of views. And then you compare it to those that are the Game Over Greggy show and the Tim show. It just wasn't Gamescast or something like that. It just wasn't as popular as the Colin Was Right videos that Colin is doing. And I just think that was ironic. But that's just me. Now they lost the big asset, and now now they thought, oh, we're gonna try to save face. Now it's backfired on them because they're getting a whole bunch of dislikes now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go with the last person for this topic, and that is Inspector.
Yeah, as everyone's saying, it's wrong. They took a joke too seriously. They should have backed him up. It's kind of ignorant of them to not back him up, because you're supposed to be his friend. You should back up your friend when he just makes an inconsequential joke on a holiday, like an unofficial holiday. But and when I first saw the news, I follow Colin on Twitter, and I saw that he posted a resignation letter. I'm like, what's this? They're like, man, you're leaving Kind of Funny. I was surprised, because like you said, Red Hood, he was my favorite part of Kind of Funny. And now that he's gone, there's really no use of watching Kind of Funny, because Colin was the best part. And if you read that resignation letter, it was very heartfelt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something. It's you got people backing him up like Joe Rogan and Dave Rubin, but you don't have his best friend Greg, the guy who lives with him. And Colin has a lease to that place, and he lives with them, and he doesn't back them up. And now he's going to Los Angeles to pursue his politics and stuff like that, and being on other people's podcasts, so he doesn't have to go so many hours to meet up with somebody. And look, and I wish him the best. I'll continue to watch the videos that he'll create. But so far, yeah, that is it.
Yeah.
Any last remarks?
I think we all like endorse Colin. Just go to his channel, support him.
Yeah.
Mhm. Exactly. So it's like, if you want to give him money, you can do that on his Patreon. If you don't, you don't need to. He even said that. And he said like he'll make 2 videos a week if you're like into the politics and history. But if you like Colin talking as well, you can still watch it. But so far, that is it for the topics, unless someone wants to bring a new topic. Any groundbreaking news, guys?
Not really. There's
Alright,
not been anything besides what we've talked about.
cool. So, guys, we're just gonna go down the panel and see if essentially where you guys can find them, their Twitter and YouTube, and we'll go with Marvel DC fan.
What's up, guys? If you enjoyed my smooth, sexy voice, you can find my YouTube channel, Marvel DC Fan X99. You can also follow me on Twitter at cock_XD, which, yeah, I know it's spelled exactly how you think it's spelled for personal reasons, that name, and yeah, so go follow me there. And I also have a Facebook, which I'll have to give Red Hood that link later on, but yeah, you can also find me on Facebook, and yeah, so
Cool.
go do it, nerds.
Yeah, do it. But ignore what Marvel DC fans said. I have the sexiest voice out of all of us. Let's be real.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll let you think that.
Okay. It's just reality. It just hasn't hit you yet.
No. All right.
All right. So, Taladia, where can they find you?
Well,
And
you
your
can
YouTube.
follow. Well, you guys can follow me on Twitter at mtaladia, which Red Twitter has got, and also my YouTube channel, which is at Taladia Plays. And I've just recently done a video on the rumored Batman game, and when I think they will be revealing this new Batman game coming from WB Games Montreal. So check it out, and yeah.
Yeah, and also don't believe the rumors of up
Yeah.
to and their damn fake games that are going to be there.
Yeah.
Besides, like Assassin's Creed, they got South Park there.
Yeah, don't
Even though the
believe.
game's coming out.
Yeah, don't believe any rumors that you hear until it's confirmed by the studio or by the publishers. Just saying.
Exactly. And we got the last and not least. He's a man with a big voice and a great heart. He knows comics. And we have none other than Inspector.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at the Inspector with an ER at the end. You can do that.
Yeah, he
That's
does
all.
the comic reviews for DC Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
I read those non-stop.
Please go follow him
Damn good.
and all the rest of
Go
us.
follow him. And quickly, also, you can expect more content from my channel. It's going to happen. I have videos already composed. It just hasn't been fully edited, nor has it been uploaded. So you probably will get a constant wave. And hopefully we can do this podcast weekly so it won't be this long, because this has been probably around 2 hours and 30 minutes or almost 2 hours. Who knows? So if we do it weekly, it'll be like an hour. And I think that would be best.
Yes.
But guys, yep. Anything else?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, cool. This is the Overleveled podcast. Signing off.
See you later, guys.
See you later, guys.
All right. Take care.